Hello, everybody. We all here? Anybody here? Somebody here? Somebody. We be live. It says. I got a green light up there. Well, it's up there somewhere. But yeah, I got a green light. It says I'm live. Wait for a few of you to get in here. See what happens. I tried to put out a notice or a post. Well, I missed last Saturday, but we'll see how things go. But, it shows I'm live. I guess I'm live. We'll see. See how everything goes here. Hope everybody had a good day. For a Saturday, I was busy. I've been busy though for a while. So, I mean, it's about like any other day. I'm busy. So I'll get tomorrow off. That's for sure. Wait and see if anybody comes in. We'll go from there. How you doing, Mike? How you doing? How was your day? I tried to put out a little bit of a short notice out there, and I was going to go live tonight. I don't know if it got posted or not, but I throw it out there. I'm learning how to do that a little as I go, because I don't know much about how to post like a lot of you guys do. You'll post something and it just be typed out, and I ain't figured that out yet. I'm computer illiterate. Well, I was inside. I mean, naturally I was inside, but worked on that truck for a little while, a couple hours on that. I think I'm good to go on that. The guy don't want to spend a lot of time, money. It's about money. He just wants it fixed and repaired as cheap as I can make it happen for him. So it ain't looking too bad. I asked him if he wanted the whole truck painted. He said, "Oh, no." He said, "I've already got the truck lettered." It's got lettered on the door. He said, "No, we ain't painting this truck." He says, "I just need that fender repaired and a couple holes filled up by the grill." The holes in the grill was harder to fix than the fender, if it makes sense. When you drill a hole in fiberglass, it's tough to fix it. I'm just glad it's not in a load bearing area up there in the grill. There's Mama M. How you doing? Glad you came in. Thank you. How was your day? Mine's been wet. It's been a wet day up here. It's good though. We needed the rain horribly bad. So I got close to 1.5 inches right now, and it's still raining out. So it's been a nice, good, steady rain. I mean, it's not been a barn burner or anything else like that, but it's been a good rain for us. We needed that. We could use some probably all week, a little bit every day. A couple tenths every day would be awesome right now for about a week. So hate to say that. But yeah, it's going to get colder tomorrow. I doubt if I see 60 degrees tomorrow. It'd probably be right around 55, maybe 55, 56 tomorrow. Maybe that's pretty much the end of the 90s for sure. We'll have some few 80-degree days coming along, but we're changing here. We're going to hardcore fall, so that's where we're going. And then it won't be long. Snow will be a flying. I hate to say that nasty 4-letter word. Yeah, I thrown out a few shorts. I can't do longs. That's my problem. That phone, I mean, it just will not let me do long form. It won't let me do it. I've got long videos in the phone, in both my phones. The iPhone won't let me get into YouTube, and transferring them over to the laptop, I ain't figured out how to do that yet. I know it ought to be a simple process, but it's not real simple for me. So, but I'm not even sure I can even do long form from the laptop to YouTube. I don't know if I can do that yet or not. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. But yeah, my long forms, they suck anyway. Half my videos suck. Best video I think I put out today on a short was standing out there with the rain and the flood. I just done that on a whim. So yeah, and I'm not, I really don't have an editor in the laptop or my phone. I've never edited any video I've ever done. It's if I do a live, it's live. If I do a short, it's what you see is what I'm doing. So that's what I do on my shorts. I've never edited any of my shorts. Of course, I make a short. It's like a little over 3 minutes. I mean, you can do a little over 3 minute video on the shorts now. So which is nice. It used to only be like 15 seconds unless you want to do a video. Yeah, I'm not going to pay $50 for, for YouTube stuff. I just ain't going to do it. I mean, if I can't do it on live or, video, then I probably ought not be able to do it. Cause I just ain't going to spend the money on the YouTube stuff. Just ain't going to do it. I got a budget. Everybody's got a budget, and I got a budget. Yeah, that one I done with the rainwater and stuff. That was just spur of the moment out there. Just let's put out a flood video. But it was something. Other than that, I've been really busy. I mean, I do so much of different things. I mean, it's just kind of hard to tell people, what do you do? I mean, what kind of job do you do? I do them all. I mean, I'll attempt to do them all if I can. My grandfather told me best, never hang your hat on one nail. Don't do it. So try to learn as much as you can about everything. Don't have to be an expert at it, but at least know something about it. So I'm not good at a lot of things, but at least ways I know about a few things that I can do. I ain't scared to do something. Jumping off a bridge on a rope, I'm scared of that. And I'm not getting on a roller coaster. That ain't happening. I'm not getting on an airplane. That ain't happening. So if I can't walk, crawl, roll, float, drive, I ain't going. Just saying. Yeah, well, it was a whim. I just standing there and I go, I ought to do this. You know, we haven't seen rainwater in quite some time up here. So, to see that and yeah, we got a flood going on here. That might have been the most rain we had. You never know up here. I mean, you get a tenth or 2/10 of rain, and it's like, oh my God, it's a flood for us. So it was kind of yeah. I think, last I looked at it, it was over 1K view already. So, at least it's being watched. Did a redneck circus ride? How did that work out? I bet that was funny. I did have an update on the Dart. Really didn't get to film anything. I did get to work on the Dart a little bit. A couple hours of work on that this week. I did work on that, but it had to go back outside. So it's back outside again for a short duration. And then I'll pull it back in and I'll get to work back on the Dart this next week. So, but yeah, I had to get it up and out of there. It was in the way of progress in the back in that new room. So so yeah, worked on a lot of semi stuff this past week too. Brakes and drums, and had a brake issue, brakes locking up on one axle, stuff like that. So I do that kind of work at work. Worked on a 40/20, done that. I've done a little bit of everything. This past couple, actually the past couple months, I've run through the ringer on stuff. A lot of different stuff. Trailer, tractors, trucks, car. That 01 Beetle I worked on. I wish I would have made a video of that. I just didn't have time, and I was trying to get it done. So, for me to stop and take videos, I don't have the capability of the phone sitting there recording. And like I said, long videos are just, it's out of the question right now until I figure out what the problem there is. But that 01 Beetle, man, I tell you what, that was something else. Yeah. Brakes just totally burned up on right rear, on fire brakes. So with Haldex brake shoes, yeah, we use a lot of different brake shoes on semis. It just depends. Kind of get them wherever. Depends if they're Q plus. Q pluses is usually the most popular brake shoe out there for semis and trucks. But the older stuff was Qs. And see, what you always got to remember on a semi, the S-cam, the size of the S-cam will dictate what shoe that axle gets. The size of that small portion in the S-cam in the center of that S, you got to measure that. And that measurement will tell you what brake shoe goes on that axle. And see, what's bad is a lot of repair shops, you just never know what S-cam, if they just replaced one side S-cam was bad or broke or whatever, and they didn't, put the right shoe on there. And now you're guessing. You got to measure and figure it out. It just depends if it's a 45/17, 45/17 shoe Q plus or 47/15 Q. So it's a lot of different shoes, 3 or 4 different ways to go about shoes. You got to measure that S-cam, and that dictates the. Yeah, that notification. I don't know if it said it posted, but I don't know. That's the first time I ever tried that on a post to see if it. And I can't see it, so I don't know if it got posted or not. So I don't know. Haldex makes a lot of different products. They make even self-adjusting slack adjusters. There's a lot of products that I have used even when I was at the trailer repair shop. We use a lot of that stuff. Yes, so I'm familiar with the name, and I'm sure they make a lot of the brake shoes too. They might be under a different name, and we're still using it. So that happens a lot. A lot of it's just a box name. So a lot of it could be Haldex. Yep. A lot of it. you know. In fact, I think Haldex is what I used on the slack adjuster. I put a new slack adjuster on that axle and everything. So he makes the shoes and riveting new liners. Yep. 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 I don't work on the semis as much as I used to when I was in the trailer repair business up there. I still work on them on the farm side of things. So yeah. No, I don't. I don't have a shop. I work for people, Mike. Unbelievable. I tried to get a shop. I wanted to do a body shop / paint deal, and there's a shop real close to me that I thought I could get into a couple years ago, and I talked to the owner. It's been sitting empty, I don't know, good 10 or 15 years, but it was a paint shop, and it's been sitting empty a long time. And I thought, well, maybe I could get into that. And there was just no way financially I couldn't do it. I mean, that guy wanted $5,000 a month for it. And there's no way I can make that happen. That just wasn't going to happen. So, who the knitters in here? How you doing? How was your day? No, I actually work for a farmer, and I went to school with him. He's the same age as I am, and I work for him. It's only supposed to be a couple days a week. That's what it started out, but it's anymore. It's kind of whatever day I want to make it, really. I mean, I get the couple days here lately. It's been 4.5 days a week. That's what I get to work with him right now. We're just really busy, a lot of stuff going on. It has been for the last couple of months. So, hey, David, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. How you feeling? Are you 100% yet? I mean, if you're not 100%, I can tell you right now, we need to do zero lash on you, because that's enough. I'm sorry, I had to go there. I'm going to have to get the valves adjusted. Glad you're all in here. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it a lot. And of course, my problem is like anything else, when you do a job for somebody, it's hard to get paid for it. And then when you send them a bill, they go crazy. It's like, my God, I didn't think it was going to cost that much. And can you take some hours off of that? And that's usually how that works. I bet David's thinking it's the fuel pump right now. He's vapor locking. That's what it is. He's vapor locking. What do you think, David? Are you vapor locking? Rich is probably watching. Just saying. He's lurking. He's a lurker. He likes to lurk. And that's fine. Everybody can lurk. I don't care. Try to help where I can, if I can. Just saying. Yeah. People are the worst. Yeah. Everybody wants the best deal they can get. Everybody's looking for a deal. I get it. I understand it. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not making a lot of money. I mean, I'm just not. I mean, I don't make $20 an hour. I don't make $18 an hour. So you can pretty much sum it up where I'm at. So I don't make a lot of money at what I do. So even my little side work jobs, yeah. I mean, it keeps me experienced, just like this truck. I mean, here we go. I mean, it's for the landlord. You know, I live in his place and pay rent here, so you know, I'm not going to make any money out of it. But I love doing the work. I have a passion for body work and paint, and I love it and I enjoy it. So it's kind of like working on tractors. Them old tractors, there ain't too many people around anymore that works on 1940 vintage tractors or 50s. You know, most of them people are passed on, and you know that information that they had didn't get passed down. Nobody's taking that cross up and running with that. So I just happen to love doing it. Hey, there's Tim. How you doing, Tim? How you been? Long time no see. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, Tim. I really do. Glad to see you come in. Oh, so you're not quite at top dead center, David? Is that what you're saying? You're kind of out of time? Well, I think we could get you advanced, I think. Just saying. I think full advance. That's what I think. Had a stroke of bad luck. Oh, Tim, that was awful. Yeah. I'm sorry. Mr. Mach 1, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. We're just yapping about nothing. So pay me no mind. I'm kind of watching the chat over here. So glad you stopped in. See, there's Rich. I told you he was in here. I told you he was lurking. It's like, how do you know he's in there? I just know he's there. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes I, don't know what to talk about sometimes. So I just throw it out there and say, we'll see what sticks. Talk about that. Rich, what have you been doing? What you been doing, Mach 1? Anything exciting? You wrecked your 2025 heading to work. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, the buck won. Oh, I see. You and the deer had a meeting. And he won. Work and more work. I know that feeling very well right about now. I really do. And I worked yesterday on that truck a little bit, got it kind of roughed in, and then I left there and went down to help a buddy of mine put a converter in his race car so he can race Sunday at Gateway. And man, it changing out a converter, you would have thought it would have been the most easiest job in the world, but it was a fight to the finish. So then I stopped in and seen some guys down south after that. I think I made her home about 11:30 last night. So, and then got up this morning, went into work up there and worked on that truck a little more. I think I've got her in the finished stages. I think it's going to be good enough. He don't want me to do a lot. I'm doing more than I should, but I want it to turn pretty decent. So, your work is your signature. I always say that. I mean, yeah, anybody can mess up. Anybody can have something bad happen. That happens, but it's how you handle it and how you take care of the customer. That's number one thing. You got to try to do your best. And I don't care what it is. I try to do my best, whatever I'm going to do for anybody. Well, at least ways you got to drive it home. I mean, did it take out the grill and AC unit and all that stuff up front or what? Or just Had no coolant in it. Had no coolant when you got home. That's not good. I take it was a Hemi. Them Hemis don't like to run low on water, I'll tell you that straight up. Yeah, working on 3 vehicles can be a pain. It's hard to focus on which one you want done first sometimes. I get that at work a lot. There's six tractors that I've painted and got pretty much all finished up, but then we'll drag into something else, and then we can't get back to those to finish them. They're sitting there. I mean, it can take 4 or 5 hours on any tractor to finish them out, but then we'll start another one. We'll start another project. So, I got work lined up for a while, is what I can say. Usually, me and the boss up there on the tractor stuff. I mean, he helps with the tractors as much as he can, but I'm usually the guy that helps tear them apart and sandblast it, and I'm the guy that gets to do that and prime it and paint it. I'm that guy. Repair stuff. If I got to tear into the engine, then I'll tear into the engine. I've done that to several of them. In fact, there's out of the 6 that's not completely back together. Out of the 6, 4 of them I've been all into. I tore the engine apart, put it back together. You drive 130 miles a day for work, really? That's a trip. I drove as much as, I don't know, 50 miles, to a job. Done it for 4.5 years. Done that. 40 miles one way, 40 miles back. That's 80 miles. That's enough drive to get to work as far as I'm concerned. But, of course, I did get gas for $2.94 in Illinois yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Shoot, Tim, you're about ready to retire out of the university then, ain't you? Said that happy word, retirement. Almost 29 years. Good going there. Awesome. 267 in South Carolina, really? Well, I got it for 294. I was happy to see 294. It was 309 in the town north of me that I drive through every day, and then went up there this morning, and it was 290. Yeah, 299 a gallon. There. Yeah. $2.99. I mean, that's not a bargain, but I mean, that's a whole lot better. It's been $3.30, $3.40 a gallon here almost all year. So Michigan's $2.48. I'd take $2.48 right now in a minute. Yeah. I mean, my Dodge truck does pretty good on fuel. I mean, it does okay. I mean, on the interstate, I can knock out 24 mile a gallon with it. So the gauge says, and it's fairly accurate. It's doing a fairly good job at it. I can't say it's exactly 24 a gallon, but I think it's every bit of 22 solid. So I know it gets 19 mile a gallon loaded pulling a trailer with a car on it. That I know, because I've been all the way down to Mississippi and raced down there with the car. So Rich says it's 286 there. Yep. Yeah. It doesn't, I mean, you know. It's good to see the gas going down. The thing about gas is hopefully it stays down, but boy, you just never know. Realistically, I'd like to see gas about 2 to 250 a gallon. If it was in there, I don't think anybody'd really complain too much. I think once it gets above that $3 mark and it marches up from that 3, I think we start seeing the pain of it pretty hard. That's just my little thought. Just saying. You know, it's the same gas that they was selling for at 3 something a gallon. You know, now it's 270, whatever. You know, it's the same. It was the same gas. Just saying. And building gas stations everywhere. Can't build gas stations fast enough right now, even in Illinois. Yeah, Rich, how you doing? Well, Mach 1 said that he was working on 3 different vehicles. What vehicles are they, Mach 1? I got one, and it's hard to focus on just the one. I'm too busy at work, which is a shame. Poor man's speed shop. How you doing? Glad you stopped in. How you doing? Okay. Yeah, them old vehicles. Yeah, they can be a pain. Normally, it's finding parts for them. We have about the same problem with tractors, believe it or not. I mean, most of them tractors that I work on are 50 vintage. So you end up having to buy several tractors in order to get the parts you need to fix the one you really want to fix. So that's what we end up doing. And most of the time now, you know, these old tractors, I mean, we got to go a pretty good distance to find the old tractors to get the parts. They do make some repop stuff. I mean, they make hoods, you know, for the 420 tractors. They make the hood, they make grill screens, they make that sort of stuff. But there's pieces that's just not made available for the old stuff. I see it in the cars now too. They've really changed up AMD. There was a lot of parts at AMD that you can't get now. Used to, you could buy a patch panel for a Duster, you know, about anywhere from anybody. Now the patch panels are pretty much gone. You almost have to buy a full quarter. So '76 F100. Yeah. I owned a '73 F150 at one time back in the day. Had a couple 250 Fords, camper specials. Building an 80 box top Ford Fairmont. Going to build a 55 Chevy after that one's done. That's cool. I like the old 55 Chevys. Hey, the old Chevys. I like the older Chevys. You know, I got a passion for a '58 Ford Fairlane. I do like them cars. I like the styling on that 58 Fairlanes. They're just so hard to find one. Thanks for stopping in there, poor man. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're just yapping about nothing. Leaving so soon, Rich? Yeah, it is. It's hard to beat them 50 cars. They was actually built out of some good metal. I mean, if they're rusted out, yeah, they've had a hard life because they made them out of metal back then. There's a couple of 55s out there. My buddy of mine, I've sold a couple of 55s. I've actually sold 3 of his cars. And a buddy of mine had a stroke. And they went down to Kentucky. All 3 of them went to Kentucky. There was one that, and I really wanted to do it, but man, I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. Money being money. But I do like the 55 Chevys. They're neat cars. Kenneth Brackett, how you doing? Glad you stopped in. How you doing? You run non-ethanol? Yeah. Oh, it's $4.39 a gallon for non-ethanol? Really? There's not too many places around here that sells non-ethanol. There's, I think, a place down by Alton, I think, that sells non-ethanol, I believe. And then I think you got to go almost to Springfield, I think, to find another place around here. Fat Bob's Garage, how you doing? Glad you stopped in. How's everybody? Hope we all had a good weekend. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I know it's raining most of the places around here. Hopefully nobody had any bad storms. We had a little bit of thunder and lightning. We had some good rain, but it's been basically a steady good rain all day today. We sure needed it. I'm sitting at just about 1.5 inches today. That's a lot of rain, but man, the ground is super dry around here. How's everything your way there, Fat Bob? How's everything? Last 2 days, I worked on that 4900 International truck fender, repairing that. That's what I've been doing the last couple days. I think I got it ready to paint. I'll knock it off with some 320, and I think it'll be ready for paint. As soon as it heat, I could have painted it today, but didn't have the paint. He didn't pick it up. He didn't think I'd be ready for it. But I'm ready for it. I'm glad. Just went fishing. Nothing wrong with that. Man, I've been wanting to go fish. I could have went fishing today, but it was raining. Brent says it's $2.68 a gallon. Yeah. Have no fear, the Duckster's here. Oh, Doug, how you doing? How you been? I've been catching a few of your lives when I can catch them. I never get notification. I don't know why. And I know I got notifications set on just about everybody I'm subscribed to. So 277 there. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'd take $2 a gallon in a minute, but I'll take anything under $3 right now. So I'm not going to complain if it's under $3. So That boss of mine, he's got I think it's a 51 Chevy truck. I don't think it's a 50. I think it's a 51 Chevy truck, 5 window. He's kind of made mention I need to do that truck. And it's like, shoot, I got to get the Dart done first. I couldn't even think about starting another project. A truck would be neat to do. Chevy's kind of a little bit out of it's not really out of my wheelhouse. Body work. That's all, to me, that's all relevant. It's all the same to me. It's just a name tag after that. Body work is what it is. You approach it the same on every vehicle. To me, anyway. I mean, I pick a spot and say, okay, this is a spot I'm going to work on, and I'm happy with it, then I'll move to the next spot. So that's me. But there is that Chevy truck. I kind of thought about that for a little bit. I don't know how long I'll think about it, and it's, the weather's changing. I don't know if I want to start another project and I ain't got this in here done. It'd be different if that engine had turned out better a few months back. I'm still recovering from that. The other engine I bought, I'm recovering from that one. I got an engine sitting at the machine shop. So plenty of that. I got pistons for it. I just need to get unbusy and go drive 65 miles and go get it. Yeah, I know. I don't, yeah. I think a lot sometimes, and it's usually wrong anyway, anytime I think. So, I'm not one of them kind of guys that walks through Walmart and walks up to the cashier and see all that stuff there and spontaneously got to buy that stuff. I'm not that guy. So I drive by this pickup truck every morning when I go into work. So I walk by it, I see it, I know it's there. So it's a little eye candy because I can see it being something really nice, but I don't know if I'm that guy. I don't know. Yeah. I think about a few cars. There's, a few cars. Everybody said, well, why are you building a Dart? You just sold your race car. I said, yeah, but this ain't a race car. This is a street car. There ain't no way I could have made that Duster a street car. There just wasn't no way it was going to happen. And I'll finish this Dart. Classic Car Guy, how you doing? How you doing this evening? Are you getting wet down there, or are you dry? We're kind of wet up here, which is a good thing. So I'm just sitting here blabbing off at the mouth, not really saying much about nothing. Good. So what do you got on your table down there, Classic Car Guy? What's on your main agenda of projects? David there at Renegade, he's having a hard time getting up to top speed. I think his timing is probably not advanced enough. Just saying. I think we're all going to have to get together and go to the Davids there and set his valve lash and get him at top dead center so he can move better. That's what I think. Sorry, David. Forgive me. Had to go there. I know Rich is still listening. That's okay. Hi, Rich. I'm sorry, Rich. I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Finally got some rain we needed. Got that. I got some projects that's on the run and I'm chasing them. So I'm going to hope that the boss gets the paint for that 4900. I can get that done maybe Monday evening or Tuesday. Get it in color. I'm going to hope. We'll see. Mach 1, thanks a lot for stopping by. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Have a good evening. Have a great rest of the weekend. Be good. Be careful. I'm getting little notifications on the bottom of my thing. I don't know what that is, but I guess it's still live. It shows I'm still live. So I guess I'm still live. Duxter, what are you doing? You still working on a hot rod bike? Kenneth, sounds like Rich has a couple of plug wires crossed. Yeah. I might agree with that. You know, a couple of them crossed for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Wires are crossed. Have I seen Robbie? Yes, I seen him yesterday evening. I went down there to help him. You know, I went and took a part to him that he needed, and I tried to put the converter in the tranny. He had it out, and he was having troubles because he couldn't get it bolted up right. And I didn't think it was engaged fully in the converter yet, so they backed it away. I got underneath there and tried getting it in there. I thought maybe I had it, but wasn't for sure. And another guy come over, and he looked at it, confirmed that it was in. They got the tranny back up in the car, did that. So I think another little problem come up with a strip bolt in the converter. I think that come out. I told him that's we helium coil that. You know, that's not a horrible job. You can actually do it in the car if you're careful. I haven't heard from him today. So I went into work today to finish up that truck. So I haven't heard from him today. I know he wants to go racing tomorrow at Gateway. I'm pretty sure he's ready for that. So, yeah, everything from today is transferred over till tomorrow. They'll have the car show, they'll have the swap meet, and they'll have all the drag racing program except for a couple of the races they couldn't fit in. So, yeah, they'll have the Mopar Blast class, and then they'll have Mopars versus the world. I mean, it's a good race. I mean, that Mopar versus the world, that's $6,000 to win. So that's a pretty good, real good day out, really. So, but yeah, they'll be racing tomorrow. I mean, I'm looking at the weather forecast. I think it'll be a chilly, breezy day. I mean, I don't see it getting to 60 even there. It might get 60 degrees there, but it's still good racing weather. Yeah, I like Robbie. He's a good guy. I try to help him as much as I can. This weekend's been south for me to help him a lot. I'm busy. It's just hard to tell everybody how busy. And I mean, I'm supposed to be a retired guy. I shouldn't be this busy, and here I am. And some of it's my fault. I'm going to tell you. I mean, you know, I took on the project of this truck to do the fender. I looked at it and I thought, well, you know, it's not a big project, but it eats up time because you got to have time for this. You know, fiberglass a little bit different to work with than filler Bondo. Filler Bondo, I can make that stuff, you know, on fire and get to do the work on it pretty quickly. And fiberglass, you put 2 or 3 layers of fiberglass, you're going to wait a little bit to be able to work it. So it just took too much time. And today, I mean, I think I've got her finished out now. I'll take some 320, I'll rough it down, I'll wipe it off, blow it off, and I'll look at it. And if I think it's good enough, I'm ready to paint. So, but yeah, Robbie is a good guy. I like Robbie a lot. So I sure wanted to help him more than I did this weekend. But and it's just the way it's been for me for the last couple of months. I just been swamped, and this body working job just kind of popped up on Wednesday, and it's like, oh, I'll come and take a look at it after I get done working. And I went and looked at it, and I didn't think it'd be very long. And yeah, just other things at work blowed up, and fixing brakes on a Beetle and getting that done. I'm getting stuff done. I mean, that's a good thing, but it's just, so much of it. But, all excuses aside, there's no excuse not to help your friends. I feel bad about it. Yeah, well, I try my best to make sure I'm at zero lash when I'm done. I try my best. If you ask me what I do, body work and paint is kind of my little forte. I work on old tractors, repair, paint them, restore them, paint them, put them back together. I do that work mainly, but I've done a lot of everything. I'm, on the farm out there that, there's 3 semis out there that's got to be fixed and repaired, and they can't always go into the shop. So sometimes I get the job of saying, well, I can do that because I can do just about anything on a semi that needs to be done. So not everything, but a lot of it. So I've done it for 8-9 years. So, but I love doing body work and stuff on cars, trucks, stuff like that. So body work to me is a real passion that I love doing. I love taking stuff that's broken, bad, bent, rusted. I like taking and fixing it and repairing it and making it look like, I wouldn't say new. I mean, I'm not going to put the word new out there. It looks nice. It looks nice. I'll put it that way. Something somebody could be proud of again. And it's functional, usable, drivable. I like to see that. The tractors we do, I mean, we don't go to the nth degree of some restoration shops do with tractors, but we do a pretty good job there. I mean, I've seen paint jobs on tractors at tractor shows that just, I mean, you just melt, and it's like, wow, look, how in the world did they do that? But if you take your time, you can do anything, make anything beautiful. But yeah. What did you say there, Dougster? Let me read that. The brown and white tractor contrast so nicely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm retired too. I work harder now, retired, than I did when I worked at the shop. I can tell you that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like old CB radios myself, believe it or not. I try to play with them when I can. Not as much as I used to. I used to have my own shop for about 15, 16 years. So I loved working on radios too. The internet and phones and all that's kind of took the CB world kind of out a little bit. I mean, truck drivers still use them. How many CB radios you want, David? Any particular kind? I got a couple boxes. I got a couple boxes of them, David. I mean, tell me what you'd like to have, and I'll see if I got it, and I'll send it to you. I promise. I had a way to take you in the back room back here. Yeah. I did pick up that pack radio that Robbie brought back. I got that. I got to refix that. So haven't had a chance to even pull it out of the box yet, but that old DAC radio. A Galaxy or a Connex? Yeah, well, don't think I got a Connex. I've got 6 Galaxy radios back there I'm trying to fix, but getting the parts for them right now. I've been a long time trying to get parts for them. The freak counter goes crazy, which is common with the Galaxy 6699s. The old style are crazy. They just start fluttering. Getting a PLL chip is not fun for them right now. I've ordered them twice. One guy took me for the money, about $350 worth off of eBay. I should know better, but I needed them. He said he had them. I never got them. Never got my money back either. So, and one guy I talked to thinks he can get them, but I haven't heard nothing back out of him. Of course, I didn't give him any money, but he said he'd let me know when he got them. I haven't got them yet either. So, and I haven't got any email from him. So it's hard to get parts for the older Galaxies. You know, Connex about the same thing. So, but they just, some of the Connexes don't have that free counter on there like 66 and 99s do. I used to be able to go to St. Louis and pick up any part I needed for them, but them places are all boarded up now and long gone. So now you're going to deal with whoever, whatever on the internet, try to get parts for them older. And I'm talking older Galaxies. I'm talking back in the 90s, early 2000 Galaxies. Cobra LTD, you almost, the old Cobra 29s were hard to beat. There was a tough old radio. The 25s wasn't bad either. There's nothing wrong with Cobra 25. I like the older ones more than I do the newer stuff that come out. But the Cobra 29 Classic LTD, that was a radio. I got one of them back there. I got a 148 GTL over at my brother's. He's got it. I don't think I got a Connex. I might have a Galaxy. I might be able to see what it is. It's in a box yet. I haven't checked it out yet. But I got a buddy of mine. I got 6 of his Galaxies. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to fix them. It's a simple fix if I can get the part. Getting the parts is the problem. They haven't made that radio in a long time. And the parts are just almost obsolete now. So that's the problem with the Galaxy, unless you buy the new stuff. Old Lafayette, yeah. A bunch of, back when I was a kid, we ran a bunch of Courier radios. My stepdad loved the old Browning Eagle, the old screaming Browning Eagle. He loved that. He loved that radio. Yeah, well, I mean, they're 10 meter radio to begin with, so yeah, we modify them to run on the lower 28 band. Almost all the radios they produce now are almost 10 metered radios. They just mod them, push a couple buttons, clip a wire inside, and you got all kinds of channels. Yeah, they make it so easy now to get into them take a 10 meter and make it a 28 meter radio really, really easy. Push a couple of buttons, clip a wire inside, and you're done. And some of these newer radios put out unbelievable wattage. There's some out there pushing over 100 watts out of just a radio. So I used to have to heavily modify one to put an extra board in there, put like a little amp board inside there to get 100 watts out of a radio. Not so much today. I do just a general repair on the CBs now. I mean, just something I can get in and do real quick and get out. Yep, 48, 40 down. Yep. Yeah. We used to have to put crystals in them. I'm talking back a few years. We used to have to put regular crystals in there and put a little board and crystals in it to get the extra channels. The channels we wanted to talk on. Private channels, whatever you want to call them. Now you just buy a board or modify your board and clip a wire, cut a trace and put in a couple of resistors. And yeah. Then you got put in a couple of switches and you got all kinds of channels. So, just saying. I used to do that a lot when I ran my business. Yeah, there's a lot of radios sitting around. I usually go to little auctions around, and I know where I think there'll be some radio equipment, and I'll go and I'll search it out. I found them in yard sales. People unhooked it, and that's what happened when the world of the internet come around. The CB radio kind of left the house. Went into the closet, basement, closet, attic. Now they come out and just throw them out in the yard sale and just get rid of it, or in the trash. Talking about trash, a good friend of mine who used to be in radios big time, and I'm talking he was in it big time. He had some nice equipment. I'll put it that way. And he passed away a couple of years, 4 or 5 years ago now. But they sold his house on a quick claim deed, sold it, got rid of it, left everything in it. The guy that bought it brought in dumpsters, and they were throwing that stuff in dumpsters. Yeah. Thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Thousands. So, yeah, that's how that works. A lot of people, there's only a certain box of people that like to still get into that radio stuff. It's nothing like it used to be. Nothing. I do more repairs for truck drivers right now than I do anybody. So fix up a mic, replace a, mic extension thing. And, I do odds and ends stuff now. Yeah. I got an old base radio I got in the back room. It's back there. I can turn it on any once in a while. Just listen to what comes in, the skips that comes in or something like that. I ain't going to talk to them because I ain't got a tall enough antenna to be talking to them. But, I like listening to it. Yeah. Backwoods Performance. How we doing? What's up? What's going on down there? Or are you up here? I'll put it that way. I'll put it the other way. Are you up here? We was just talking about 55 Chevys a while ago. You missed it. Are you down there with Dust Devil and Jed and all the boys? You're back in Kentucky. What's up with that? Starting on the Dana soon. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. What are you doing to the 440? Just a basic rebuild, or is it a hot rod, blower, anything like a dual quads or something like that? I am glad you stopped in, man. I appreciate it. I really do. I'll see what I got back there in boxes back there, David. I'll see what radio I got and stuff, and I'll check it out. Put it on the bench, check it out. I'll see what I got, and I'll send you some pictures of something if that works. It may not be a Galaxy or a Connex, but Fat Bob, I appreciate you coming in, man. I really do. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Bob. I really do. Come back, be good, be safe. It's been a complete rebuild, first motor ever started on for the 67 Speed Pro 2355s. Yeah, that's Racer Brown camshaft. You can't get any better than that. 587, that's a big boy. That's STX 22. Yeah, be an STX 22. Harley rocking 5.1 rockers, I assume. 1050 Dominator, just street motor. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 That sounds like about a 1050 car. Just saying. Just what little bit I see there. Should be a 1050-ish motor, I think. 1060. Just saying. STX 21, 1.6. Well, the STX 21 is what I run in my Duster in the race car. It was only a 437, so it wasn't even a 440. It was a 383 with a 440 crank that was in it. 60 over piece. Sporting about maybe 12-to-1 compression, maybe. Run a 1050 Dominator on it. 29. You just call it 3,000. It was under 3,000 pound car. My race car was with me in it. So I just call it a 3,000 pound car. It ran a best of a 1028. Just saying. I mean, you could easily be into the 1050, 1060 range fairly easy. Uh-huh. I was going to say a STX 21 is only like a 556. You're saying a 587, 22 is a 590 something. So Racer Brown camshafts, you can't get any better than them. I don't care what anybody says. That guy, he's got the camshaft business. He knows what to do there. Well, that's the old DC maker. Racer Brown was the originator of the old DC camshafts. So well, it's going to punish that 4-speed. I can tell you that. Yeah, 556 with a normal 1.5. And you said a 587 with 1.6. I think you're a little light there, but on the figure, and I think you're going to be closer to a 609 or a 610. But that's what I think. I'm just figuring off the top of my head here. I think you're a little light on that number, but it really won't matter. The STX 21 with 1.5 rockers, yeah. It'll be all at once. It'll punish that 4-speed pretty harsh. I'll tell you that. So it's a 440. Yeah. Who'd we lose? Did you lose me? Did live go bad? Live still on? See, it don't tell me. It just says it's live. I'm sitting here watching the chat over here. So I don't know whether it's still live or not. It shows I'm live. I don't know. Are we live? Are we still live? Somebody say something. They all know I'm live. All good. Okay. All right, David. Thanks. Well, I didn't know. See, on my 437, I had just stock RPM aluminum heads on there. They was right out of the box. I changed the springs because the camshaft, but other than that, why, they was out of the box production Edelbrock RPM heads. So yeah, it's going to run pretty swell. Probably somewhere around, ballpark guess on the horsepower, 60, 670, close 700 horse, probably. A lot will depend on your heads you're using. Just saying. Well, it says I've been on here an hour and 12 minutes. And I really appreciate everybody coming in. I think I'm going to call it a night, call it a good weekend. It's been fun. It's been real. I've had a very busy week, and I think I'm going to take the rest of the weekend off, what's left of it. And there's a race going to be happening at Gateway tomorrow. The old Mopar Blast will be running. Hopefully it's a good day. Hopefully maybe I'll see some of you down there. That'd be nice. If a guy can possibly make it, why, come on and take a look at some Mopars running. Anyhow, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Take care of one another. Be good to one another. And let's all get there together. We'll see you all next week. Same time, same bat channel. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you all later.